It all begins with a breeze. A lively park suddenly falls silent as if someone hit the pause button. People stand frozen in place. A girl on the sidewalk senses something's wrong. She watches as her friend calmly removes a hairpin and stabs it into her own neck. Then others begin to die, one after another, in waves. Not far from the park, on a construction site, the foreman looks up and sees workers jumping off the scaffolding one by one. Morgan decides to leave the city and head to the countryside with Will, hoping to escape the chaos. But in another park, the same breeze picks up. People stop walking and start ending their lives. Back on the train, panic spreads as passengers receive the news. The train is forced to a halt, stranding them in an unfamiliar small town. But tragically, they've landed right in the heart of the outbreak. Everyone scrambles to flee. Morgan and his group beg others to take them along. Will joins another car, heading off to search for his wife, entrusting his daughter to Morgan and the others. Along the road, Will sees people hanging from trees. He seals every crack in the car to block the wind. But then he notices a small opening in the roof. Air is leaking in. The car crashes into a tree. Will steps out, sits on the ground, and picks up a shard of glass to cut his wrist. Meanwhile, Morgan's group finds the roads littered with bodies. At a fork, they see corpses in every direction. Morgan realizes Will might not make it back. He kneels and hugs the little girl who just lost her father. Morgan begins to suspect the phenomenon is caused by plants, perhaps a toxin released into the air. He believes that if they can stay ahead of the wind, they can survive. They run, and as the breeze passes over them, nothing happens. He was right. Eventually, Morgan, his wife, and the girl stumble upon a remote house owned by a solitary old woman, who lets them stay. The next day, Morgan enters her room and finds a strange, human-shaped doll lying on the bed. The woman flies into a rage, accusing him of theft. As he tries to explain, he sees her standing outside in the breeze, expressionless. Moments later, she smashes her head through a window. Morgan retreats into the kitchen, desperately sealing off the door. He soon discovers that his wife and the girl are hiding in the backyard shed. Not wanting to die alone, Morgan decides to be with them in his final moments. He opens the door and walks outside. His wife steps out too, holding the girl's hand. They walk toward each other, hand in hand, waiting for the end. But nothing happens. They're alive. Unbeknownst to them, the outbreak had ended moments before they stepped outside. Is that really the end of the story? 3 months later, life has returned to normal. Morgan and his wife adopt the girl. Experts on TV urge people to repair their relationship with nature, but it might be too late, because when that same familiar breeze sweeps through the park again, the world falls silent once more. This time, it might never get the chance to start again.